Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. This is NAMM 2023. We're in Anaheim, California in the Yamaha booth with our friend John. We're checking out some silent brass. That seems kind of, I don't know, cognitive dissonance there, silent brass.
Yeah, it's an oxymoron. Being a brass player, it's hard to stay silent. But this is the new evolution of the silent brass. And the original silent brass came out about in the early 90s, but 1993, I think. And it was a really incredible thing for brass players for a long time because practicing a brass instrument was almost exclusively limited to a garage or a basement or school or someplace where you didn't, we weren't able to bother your neighbors or your family members or sleeping babies and, crying dogs and all those things. And it was a good technology at the time, but over time, sound technology evolved and got better and better and better. And a few years back, we introduced the next-gen silent brass with what we call brass resonance modeling. They did extensive work on sampling both live and muted brass instruments, because at its core, this is a practice mute. It's designed to silence the instrument so you can play in almost any environment without bothering anybody. But the downside of playing into a practice mute is you tend to overblow, which is not so great for the chops because you're trying to hear yourself.
Right.
Well, improving the sound technology to a much more modern, 21st century technology was huge in that now a player can hear much more realistically what they sound like. And so you could play in a more natural way and play it for longer periods on a mute without doing the damage that comes along with it. And that was epic. And we also went really far towards making these things super light. The old ones were kind of clunky and heavy. We make them fit all the way into the bell, which is good for travel. And then what we've done more recently is we've expanded the capability of the sound box.
Okay.
So we've added individual mic and main control. We've added more detailed reverb control. We've added a cool thing. We have two sound modes now. We used to only have the player mode. So let's say a trombone player, like myself. I hear the trombone heavier on the left and a little bit in front of me. So the box knows when the trombone mute is plugged in, and that's how it balances the sound. Well, now I can switch to audience mode, which makes a balanced left-right stereo sound that pushes the sound out in front of the player as if where the audience would hear it. So now the player can better understand what the audience is hearing versus what they're hearing via the silent brass system. And that is just so important, I think, because everybody can sound like a hero when you put it on concert hall mode and turn up the reverb, but you still don't know exactly what the audience hears, and now they can do that. The other thing we've included on the box is a USB micro B output. So again, you go USB out, you can go into a computer and have a USB audio track, or again, you can go into a mobile device using the Yamaha Rec and Share app, which came out a couple of years ago when we launched the EAD10 for drum set. And now the Rec and Share app, you can record, play, and video directly into your phone, directly to social media, and you are influencing right away. Last thing that's new about this, the one thing that was missing from the last gen silent brass was an option for bass trombone players. Now every trombone system ships with an adapter sleeve that will be available separately that fits over the existing bass trombone mute. Let's see if I can get this. So that it works with the bass trombone appropriately and fits appropriately. And that's huge, again, because a lot of bass trombone players double on bass trombone, or bass trombone players who are just dedicated need an option. We've kept the auxiliary input jack on the box, and it's just a really great evolution for the system. It's a lot of what players have been asking for, and that's the new silent brass system.
That's fantastic. What a great solution for being able to practice. I mean, it just is ideal. Yeah.
Practice anywhere. I think anywhere, anytime is the whole thing. It's making music, getting better, honing your craft, evolving as a musician, anywhere, anytime, on an airplane. When my kids were born, I was practicing in the living room, a sleeping baby. Don't wake a sleeping baby? No problem, I got a silent brass.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for the tour, John. Really cool. Congratulations. And thank you for joining us here in the Yamaha booth. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.